What's going on, guys? This is Miasin and welcome to my Infernoid Snake Eye combo and deck profile video. I'm obviously doing a 2-in-1 now, and I want to say this deck is really interesting because the new Snake Eye / Diabellstar support is extremely good for Infernoids because obviously they're level 1 fire monsters that are all 1-for-1s for other level 1 fires, which obviously is good for rescues, but also Infernoids because Decatron is a level 1 fire, and it's also the best Infernoid monster in the deck, so why not take full advantage of that? Now, there is a really good reason why I'm making this video. It's not just because I love Infernoid. Another reason why I'm making a video on this is because we're going to be getting a new set in November 25th, at least in the OCG, so in the TCG is going to be taking a little longer. It goes by the name of Dual Terminal World or something, World Terminal, and we're going to be getting guaranteed support for Infernoids and Ice Barrier, which is irrelevant because Infernoid best deck, nothing else matters. But yeah, today I will be showing you guys 3 combos with this deck. Really aggressive deck, really good, and can actually play through hand traps because you have a 1-card combo pretty much that can King Calamity your opponent through NIBIRU. That's completely disgusting. Anyways, before this video starts, you already know the drill. Friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button, and now let's get right into it. Alright, so combo number 1, the only card that you really need is Hunter Fiend, or I think the Diabellstar Dark Witch also kind of works. But you also need a couple of discards and cards that you can send from the face of field to the graveyard, which is a little annoying because your Snake Eyes are kind of expensive. Now, the field spell makes it way easier. It makes it so that it pretty much fulfills like the entire cost, but whatever. Anyways, draw phase, you're trying to play around Jewel, so you activate that to search the Diabellstar, the Dark Witch. The only difference between drawing Diabellstar and straight up drawing Hunter Fiend is that Hunter Fiend is a draw 1 on top of everything that Diabellstar does, which is getting your 1-for-1 card. So obviously drawing Hunter Fiend is always better, at least, you know, economy-wise. But Hunter Fiend is the 3 of, and Diabellstar is a 1 of. So there's kind of no reason for me to cover drawing like Diabellstar, which is less likely, and honestly pretty much the exact same. Anyways, we're going to be discarding a card, and like I said, you're going to be getting your original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye. So that is the 1-for-1 by sending another face-up card you control to the grave. This is where you actually have to put a card face-up on the field so that you can send it right away and summon your Excel from the deck. Now, this is not a Microsoft Word, it's actually Excel, and you're going to be searching a level 1 fire from the deck to the hand. You could even be searching Kurikawa going second and break boards, which is actually really nice against Kashtira and stuff like that. Anyways, now you're going to be going Hunter Fiend to shuffle back your stuff, whatever. Draw 1 card. It has to be a Sinful Spoil spell, so it's not like any card, obviously, no shit. But yeah, the card that you draw doesn't matter, it can be a discard. And your Snake Eye Excel, like I said, searches the Decatron, and now you're going to be getting another card that you can place face up on the field so that you can send it for the effect of Excel in order to, you know, special summon a monster from the deck. But before that, normal summon Decatron, send the Sajet so that it becomes level 7, and now you got yourself a level 7 tuner and a level 7 non-tuner so that you can go into Ultimate at Zolkin. And yeah, by the way, this is where Lair of Darkness is actually really good in this deck because you have pretty much like 7 copies of Lair of Darkness, 1 Terraforming, 3 Layers, and 3 Arima. So then you can search it and then set it, and that triggers the Tzolkin. And then you can summon your Crystal Wing, and that's summon number 5, by the way. Summon number 1 was Diabellstar, summon number 2 was Excel, summon number 3 was Decatron, summon number 4 Tzolkin, and then number 5, Crystal Wing. NIBIRU is no longer a threat for us. And now you're going to flip your Lair of Darkness, so that's the double utility that I was referring to, and then send it so that you can summon your Orc. Again, every single time you use the effect of your Snake Eyes to summon a Snake Eye from the deck, it always has to send a face-up card you control. It's so freaking annoying, man. If there's like a good solution of like free real estate cards that you can send face-up to the graveyard, please let me know. Please let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, the Orc is going to be reviving back the Decatron, and you're going to be using its effect in order to send your Saitsema, so that's it's level 8. And now, again, the Orc is going to be sending itself as well as the Tzolkin that we no longer really need, and summon the Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon from the deck. It has a relatively cute effect that allows you to put a card in the graveyard or field in the spell and trap zone, and on your opponent's turn, you can summon one of those monsters on its owner's field or something that was in the spell and trap zone. So that's actually not too bad. You can revive back like your Decatrons, or honestly, it doesn't really matter too much, but if you have the field spell, it's actually really good because whenever your opponent normals or special summons a monster, you can do that without having to rely on the Flamberge Dragon. Anyways, you're going to now be making the Bish Balkan, so I think this was kind of obvious. I mean, we sent the Saitsema so that the Decatron was level 8, and now with the Flamberge, they're both level 8, the Decatron being a tuner, so that we actually made Tzolkin and Bish Balkan in the same turn. That's actually really freaking cool. But when the Flamberge Dragon is sent either from the hand or field to the grave, you can revive back 2 level 1 Faris from the grave. So again, we're going to be abusing Decatron, send another card from the deck to the grave, this time Ononku, which means that, by the way, that's a Turkish word. Well, I mean, at least on, which means 10. Anyways, Decatron is now level 11. So 11 plus 1 equals 12. But yeah, now you summon a bunch of tokens, and you're going to be synchro summoning into Crimson Dragon. And now Muckraker from the Underworld using the 2 Linkuriboh. So that's the kind of ugly thing that you have to do in your extra deck, play 2 Linkuribohs. It actually gives me eye cancer, but it is relevant, unfortunately, for the tokens, because you need to affect monsters to make this card. And now you can revive back a Fiend from the grave, and Decatron is by far your best option. And now you got your Spell and Trap Negate, as well as a Monster Negate and Crimson Dragon into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity on your opponent's turn. And that was pretty much only with Hunter Fiend and 1 discard and 2 cards that you have to send from your face-up field to the graveyard. So again, a little neggy, unfortunately, but it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. I'm pretty sure there's a way to make it better. But the fact that 1 single card technically can do all of that is honestly really insane. And obviously, your follow-up is disgusting, because we didn't have to banish any Infernoids to do that. We just kept looping Decatron over and over, so that we have a stacked graveyard. We sent like 4 Infernoid monsters this turn, because we kept using the effect of Decatron. So yeah, that's it for combo number 1, already really nice. Now let's get right into combo number 2. Alrighty, combo number 2, this time I have a different hand. I have the Diabellstar with Inferno Decatron, the field spell, which I talked about in combo number 1, as well as Orc and a Tondel. And I have to play through an Ash, and my opponent also has a relatively playable hand. But it's not the end of the world, it doesn't change anything. So yeah, first things first, Diabellstar pitch the Decatron, and then get myself the 1-for-1 spell. I'm going to be activating the field spell to get my Excel on the Spell and Trap Zone, and now use the 1-for-1 that is going to be met by an Ash. It's not the end of the world. Again, this time we don't have to neg too much, because we have like a field spell that gets us a card on the Spell and Trap Zone, so that we can send it for the 1-for-1 as well as Excel and Orc. So it's we're not going to be relying on drawing like multiple Layer of Darkness and stuff like that. This is a little less bait than before. Anyways, normal summon the Orc, and then revive back the Decatron. It doesn't matter. It's always the same. Send the Setsema, so this is level 8. And now, you know, send to summon the Flamberge Dragon, and now use the effect to get back the Orc. This time it does matter. It's not like combo number 1 where I got like a random ass Arima that I didn't do anything with. So yeah, definitely keep your eyes out on what I'm about to do. Anyways, go into the Bishbalkin, and then revive back Decatron as well as Excel. Again, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 to search a Decatron that is pretty good for follow-up. And we're going to have a level 11 Decatron because we're sending on Unku. So that now we can make Crimson Dragon as well as Muckraker, discard the Tondel, revive back the Decatron, and then send whatever, doesn't matter too much, but a Spell and Trap Negate would be pretty nice here. And then Crimson Dragon into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. Make our opponent not be able to use any card or effects on the field for the rest of the turn. And whenever opponent summons anything, we can go, okay, yeah, field spell, revive back the Orc, and then revive back either Excel or a Decatron if it already had to use its effect. And then we can use the effect again, negate again, and if our opponent tries to attack over one of our monsters, we have Linkuriboh in the graveyard so that you can get rid of a Snake Eye monster and protect Infernoid Decatron, which is extremely relevant. The Infernoid Decatrons that are copying the Deviati and Ononku, they're not really scary if they always get run over by your opponent's monsters, but if you can protect them with Linkuriboh, it's actually really relevant. And obviously this board is pretty terrifying. I mean, you're pretty much almost skipping your opponent's turn. You have a monster with 7,000 attack, a stacked graveyard, a follow-up for days. The field spell can keep making you generate advantage every single time your opponent summons a monster. And then you got another Decatron and a card that can revive back Decatron or Excel so that you can search another Decatron. Like I said, the world is your oyster, and even if your opponent, you know, gets rid of every single monster on your board, it doesn't change anything to your life. You have 65 billion Infernoids in the grave, all good in the hood. Alright, combo number 3 now is going to be a little different because I'm not gonna try to go for the same combo, right? My hand is better and worse at the same time because I have Void Vanishment, which gets me the Void Feast, which is obviously extremely good, but I'm not really trying to send this from the face-up field to the graveyard. It's really neggy. So I'm going to be going Diabellstar pitch, the Setsemas, and then get the 1-for-1 spell. Get rid of the Diabellstar, so obviously I think you can already tell that this is Not really going to be the King Calamity combo, but it's not the end of the world. Normal summon the Decatron, send the Harmadic, because, well, Harmadic. Don't Harmadic. And then link off into El Mirage. This is actually one of the only interactions where El Mirage is relevant, but basically you can get your Decatron in the grave, and then you're going to be able to provide back the Setsemas, and the El Mirage is obviously a body for you to get rid of with the XL, and then summon the Orc, revive back the Decatron from the banish. This is free real estate. And now send the Sajet so that this becomes level 7. 7 plus 7 equals Soulkin. Send your Void Vanishment, summon Crystal Wing. And this is like the coolest combo ever. You're going to be summoning the Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon. You got a Crystal Wing on the field, but you got no other monsters. So you really want to use the Graveyard effect of Flamberge, but you don't know how. The best way to approach this is by using its effect, and then you're going to be negating yourself with Crystal Wing. So this is sent from the field to the grave. And you're going to be reviving back Decatron as well as any of the Snake Eye monster. And then Decatron is sending a Tondel, so this becomes level 9. And now you Synchro Summon for Baron de Flare. Just like that. And then the Void Vanishment is going to be discarding the Hunter Fiend. Surge the Void Feast, draw 1 card with the Hunter Fiend. And then set your Void Feast, Super Poly. You got Baron de Flare, Crystal Wing. This doesn't even rely on Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, so even if it gets banned, it's not like this deck loses on anything. You can still make generic interactions just like that. And on your opponent's turn, of course, you have a bunch of interruptions because this is going to be summoning double Decatrons. Well, and not really because you already went over through the Sajet, but still, you have like 20 billion Infernoids in the grave at this point. Because even the Decatron, you got it back from the banish, so the only Infernoid monster that you lost was either the Harmadic or Patrulia, whichever monster that you sent with the second Decatron. So, I mean, the first one, whatever, it doesn't change anything, but yeah. Basically, this is crazy, and this is, what you can be looking forward to before the new wave of support, because obviously on November 25th, we will have, you know, the new Infernoid cards, and they're going to be like actual Infernoid support cards. Anyways, more about that later on. Now let's get right into the deck profile. Alrighty, so for the deck profile, and like I said before, I feel like for like the past 7 years, the best Infernoid cards that we got for the deck were not even like actual Infernoid cards, but rather indirect support. So like Lair of Darkness and like the Snake Eye and, you know, Hunter Fiend and Sinful Spoil stuff. You know, all these cards are not even like actual real Infernoid support, but it's still the best that we had, and obviously, Lawn Mowing, that grass looks greener, probably one of the best Infernoid cards I've ever read. It's not really an Infernoid card, but you get the point. And Rat, actually, Zodiac Rat Pier, so that you can make Bujinte Gagotsuchi mail 5 cards. Fairy Tail Snow. But yeah, finally, Konami is going to be showing us some love, which is extremely appreciated. Anyways, before we proceed into this deck profile, friendly reminder, of course, to smash the like and subscribe button, and now let's get right into it. Alright, so for the Infernoid monsters, I'm on 2 Anunkus with 1 Deviati. So Anunku is more relevant than Deviati because of the level modulation of Decatron. So if you're sending a level 10, this becomes level 11. And then with any Snake Eye, you can make a level 12 Synchro monster, being Crimson Dragon, and then you can tag out into King Calamity on your opponent's turn by targeting your Bishbalkin. Bishbalkin is super easy to make. You just have to have, like, you know, 2 level 8 or higher monsters with the same level, 1 being a tuner, 1 being a non-tuner. And in this deck, it's actually a joke to make, and you can even make Soulkin in this deck. So, and you're going into both, actually, in the combo, which is a 1-card combo with a few discards and cost and stuff like that, which is extremely annoying. But yeah, it's a really nice deck though. So yeah, 2 Anunku, 1 Deviati, a little less good, even though the effect is actually extremely good, but level modulation wise, not the best. I'm not playing Void Imagination in this build, even though you definitely could, but the extra deck is a little tight, so if you want to do that, you're gonna have to replace your Super Polys, because you're gonna need like Elder Entity Entis and Infernoid Tiara and other things that have graveyard effects. It's a little too much to ask, but it's definitely doable. Actually makes the going second much better too, so I recommend looking into it. Super Poly is not needed, but Super Poly is in fact really good with Lair of Darkness. So that's actually really nice. Anyways, 1 Flamberge Dragon, obviously this is needed in the combo. 1 Atandel, again in Mixture Decatron, level 9, so that with any Snake Eye you can make Baron de Fleur, level 10 Synchro. 2 Setsemas, it actually has the best effect out of every Infernoid monster, I want to say, because it gives you access to outing monsters that cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. without Lair of Darkness, you know, because this at the end of the battle phase, when it battles, you can banish a card on the field. So that's actually really cracked, and your Decatron can copy that effect. A Tondel, on the other hand, is just like you can make a second attack in a row after it destroys a monster and sends it to the graveyard by battle. So that's actual dog shit. I actually hate a Tondel. Saint-Semas is way better. But yeah, Diabellstar the Dark Witch, Infernoid Sagette. This is garbage to draw, but it does allow your Void Feast to summon 3 monsters. So 2 Decatrons and 1 Sagette, because the sum of your Infernoid levels have to be 8. And this is the best configuration, the most aggressive one, but you can also go Decatron, Pachulia, and Harmadic, so that you got 2 DD Crows and 1 Spell Trap or 1 Monster Negate, or you can go Decatron and Saint-Semas when you're running out of gas. So that's the reason why I kind of have like all of the ratios possible for this card to be live at all point. And I'm not trying to play like too many Inferno monsters, because otherwise you're really gonna start breaking. The big Infernos are pretty much all bricks. Like, the only Infernoids that aren't bad to draw are, well, obviously Decatron and Pachulia and Harmadic, because I want to call them like the teens / baby Infernoids. You can only summon them from the hand, whereas the big ones, you can only summon, well, actually, you can summon them from the hand and grave, but you always have to banish at least 2 Infernoid monsters. And then the giant Infernoids, it's 3 Infernoids, so it's actually extremely difficult to summon them. And by the way, I forgot to mention something, but every single Infernoid monster outside of Decatron can only be summoned with, you know, their actual summoning condition, and only if the level of all of your monsters on the field and ranks are 8 or lower. So if you got like a level 9 or higher on the field, you're pretty much locking yourself out of summoning Infernoids. And that might be a reason why in my combos I wasn't summoning that much. It's because I couldn't, even if I tried. So that's the reason why in this deck, summoning Link monsters is actually a good thing, because it's going to be getting rid of your level count so that you can start summoning your Infernoids from the grave. But it is really neggy, because you're summoning an Infernoid just to link it off and then revive back again, and you're going to be banishing cards extremely quickly, and you're going to be running out of grind really, you know, like at the speed of light if you're doing that. But anyways, so that's pretty much it for the Infernoid lineup. I mean, it's kind of obvious. 1 Sagette, 1 Pachulia, 1 Harmadic, 3 Decatron. For Lair of Darkness, 3 Arima, 3 Lair. I cannot play Lilith in this build, because that would mean I would be playing 3 Imperm and 3 Void Feast. And that is absolutely not worth it, because your normal summon is much better to use on Decatron, which you're pretty much searching with Excel. You're not really trying to waste your normal summon on Lilith or something like that. And Arima into Lair is pretty good going second, actually. Yeah, 2 Orc as well as 2 Excel, so this is a Monster Reborn, either from the graveyard or banished, and you can also add back the card to the hand instead of having to special summon it, which is relevant to if you have Kurikara. And then Excel is a searcher, so add 1 level 1 fire monster from your deck to your hand upon normal or special summon, and they both have the exact same secondary effect to send themselves as well as any other face-up card you control to the graveyard in order to summon another Snake Eye monster from the deck. So yeah, really cool cards. And then that's it for the monsters, so 21 for the spells when terraforming, because you got 2 different field spells, the Snake Eye field spell as well as Lair of Darkness, 3 Prosperity with 1 Snake Eye 1 for 1, 3 Super Volley, which again, like I said, could also be Void Imagination, would also make the deck a little more consistent, because you would have more cards that you can send from your face-up field to the graveyard to use your Snake Eyes. So yeah, that's also a thing to consider. And Super Volley has to make you discard a card to use it, which is a little neg, because you already have so many cards to discard. So yeah, again, if you want to swap this for Void Imagination, go for it. It's also really good going second. I mean, it's basically Shaddoll Fusion, so nothing can go wrong with it. Anyways, 3 Hunter Fiend with 3 Void Banishment, 4 field spells, 1 Void Feast. Drawing 2 Void Feast is a good thing, because it means that you can send the one that you have in your hand, and if you have like Void Imagination and double Void Feast, you can use 2, because, you know, Void Feast send Imagination, and then Chain Void Feast send the other Void Feast, and then you're summoning 5 Infernoids from the deck. But I mean, it might make you break, and it's not necessarily good going second. I mean, it depends, but yeah, you can also explore Bales with 3 Void Feast, but I want to see 2 Void Feast might be a little awkward. It's either 1 or 3. Maybe my logic could be flawed, because the first regional that I topped with this deck is 60 card Infernoid Zodiac. I was actually playing 2 Void Feast, so yeah, it's pretty much up to you and how the format shapes up. But anyways, so 40 cards in the main deck. For the extra deck, a bunch of Super Poly targets. Not really worth explaining, and then every single Synchro monster that I summoned in the combo anyways. Dark, even though you're not playing a lot of Dark monsters in your main deck, they're all Darks, because you can pretty much all turn all of them into Linkuriboh, or Lair of Darkness changes them into Dark monsters anyways. And Hita doesn't really have any relevance in the current format, whereas Dark, on the other hand, is extremely good. And then Muckracker with 2 Link Rebos so that your Bishop Balkan tokens can go into Muckracker. And El Mirage because when you normal summon Decatron, you want to turn it into an El Mirage so that you have an Infernoid monster in the grave, and then you can summon back. And then the Aura can revive back the Decatron from the banish that you can keep playing from there. Now for the idea section, I have a lot here. So obviously Kurikawa, Jet Synchron, level 1 fire monsters, not too bad. Trifuverdum, another super poly target. Elder Entity Entis if you're trying to play for the imagination. And then a bunch of topologic monsters because there is one interesting card that if you send it from your extra deck to the grave, you can break boards like crazy with it. It is this card right here, Boral Code Dragon. The effect in the graveyard reads, you can banish this card from your grave, banish 1 dark monster with 3000 or more attack from the field, and if you do special summon 1 topologic monster from your extra deck or grave. So it's actually really cracked. You can summon like Zeroboros, Bomber, Trisbania, and it's, again, really easy to send because of your Void Imagination. So yeah, that's really nice. Anyways, like I said, the other topologic monsters, Access Code Unicorn, Crusadia Equimax, there are some nice OTK combos with this card. And you can, you can also attack with this, and then you tribute it with your Infernoids, and then you can keep attacking with your other monsters. So you can go for like 10k plus damage OTKs with this card very easily. Unchained Soul, Lord of Yama. Its graveyard effect is also quite irrelevant. When a card you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect or something, you can banish this from the grave and then revive back in a Fiend monster from your graveyard. So you can revive back Decatron. So sending this card with Tiara, again, could be pretty decent. Doolittle Chimera, not too bad. It boosts your fire monsters by 500 attack and defense. And then Gravity Controller, it's good with Infernoid Tiara because it's a level 11 Infernoid monster. So you want to link it off so that you no longer have the level count, and then you can keep reviving back your Infernoid monsters and OTK from there. So yeah, this card is actually kind of needed if you want to play Void Imagination. And then Sunlight Wolf, it's actually not too bad if you're playing Ash in your deck, because you can summon on your opponent's turn so that your Sunlight Wolf recycles back a fire on your own turn, and on your opponent's turn, you're going to be recycling back Ash or something, and then on your opponent's turn, you could actually recycle back Ash again. So you can keep looping fire monsters with Sunlight Wolf over and over. It's not only good in Salamangreat, so yeah, keep that in mind. Anyways, Dark Ruler, Forbidden Droplet, and more Void spells and traps. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I definitely will update this video once we get the new support from Dual Terminal World or something. I forgot the name of the set, and I don't care. Anyways, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.